What's up, guys? This is Coach Victor Bell from Warrior Strength Camp's Champion Development Academy's Unstoppable Champion Training, where I actually help athletes and executives maximize their potential. This will be a little bit different video because, like I've said before, and I don't know if you guys noticed, I'm not a fan of doing a whole bunch of videos and taking a bunch of pictures and things like that. It never has been. But I really wanted to get this message out because I noticed the kind of commonality between most of the champions and the achievers that I kind of deal with. And when I consider somebody an achiever, I'm talking about somebody that's typically at the upper echelon of an athletic endeavor, some state champ, some Olympic style athlete, some NFL player, NBA player, things like that. Those are kind of some upper echelon people, and you have some other high achievers as well. But typically, from my perspective, I usually bump into a lot of guys. Guys anywhere from 20 years old to some of them are 50 years old. I mean, some of them are investors and they own a bunch of real estate and all these other different things. And I find that usually, if you're at a certain position in your life, so far as being a champion, being an achiever, being a 6, 7, 8 figure earner, the pressures that you have are a lot different. So, that was one of the things that I noticed, and this may or may not be some of you guys, but on a typical basis, when I connect with somebody, especially guys, I know for a fact that, hey, there's going to be a time when you're going to peel away to the dark and you're going to sit there and you're not going to have anybody. You're going to cry at night. You're going to go through the things that you're going to go through with your wife. You're not going to be connecting with your kids. You're going to be so engulfed in the things that you have to do. It's just going to it's going to seem like there's no way out of it. You're not really going to have any friends, and everybody that friend-wise that you may have or somebody tangled into a part of your team, somebody that you serve at some point. Because in the end, when the chips are all down, just like we tell our fighters, the cage is going to close on your back, nobody else's, and you got to do your work. So I think that's one of the main things is that loneliness that most of those guys get. And I'm not saying that loneliness from a perspective of like a fearful loneliness, but a frustrating loneliness to the part where sometimes you just want to lash out. But you figure from winning all the time, from being at the upper echelon of things, from being a champion, from being top tier in any business component, as kids, we're always taught the opposite. We're taught to not say anything. We're taught to not beat our opponents too bad. We're taught to not run too fast. Don't gloat when we win. Don't get angry. Don't get mad. Don't hit. Don't do this. So we kind of really get bridled by some of the ways of people who are not shooting for what we're shooting for, the people who may not be reaching as far along as we're looking to reach at times, and it does cause conflict. So I mean, and also staying in a constant state of approval by other people sometimes is super damaging to, guys like myself, the guys that I come in contact with is why I created Unstoppable Champion Training, because at some point you should be okay with taking relentless action and crushing somebody. You should be okay with yelling at the top of your lungs and telling somebody to fuck you for a little bit and really mean that in your heart, get over it so you can move on. You should be okay to be able to fight back sometimes when everyone else says don't lift a finger. You shouldn't always have to kill people with kindness. Now, it's okay to crush somebody's back with success. It's okay as an athlete to just dominate your opponent so bad because, like, if he was talking shit, you just crush him. That's okay too. But sometimes we're guys, we're men. You figure we don't get that opportunity, that right sometimes to be men. We don't get that opportunity. A lot of times when we're bridled by some of the things that hold us back, we fall on all these different addictions. And like I said before, I don't know if you saw the video, but I kind of coupled those addictions up into three categories, which is sex, money, and mayhem. So the sex part naturally is desire for other people to be in your lives physically, right? And then you have the money side, which is the acceleration in your business and the achievement of things. And I say money too because athletes, it's not just about succeeding and conquering and beating as an athlete. Sometimes it's about making the money that you need to make, the endorsements that you need to have, the work that goes upon getting in. And that's the same thing as if you're a top level executive and or CEO or entrepreneur. The other side of that is the mayhem. That's the gold. That's the drinking. That's the drugs. That's going out. That's hanging out all night. That's the darker side of the lighter side of partying, so to speak. Those guys that are out there doing coke and X and doing all these things, don't think that it's something that I don't understand. I've been on both sides of the track with all of those things at some point, which is, again, like I said, when I looked at what was missing in the marketplace to be able to help my champions, my people, when I opened my gym, when I lost everything, when I moved all the ways up the pipe, when I had problems at home, when I had problems in my relationship, when I wasn't connecting with my kids, and worse, not connecting with myself. I had to kind of figure out ways to do that reach out to my own coaches because let me tell you, let me be real with you. If you aren't connecting with somebody that understands those things, that can get you out of them, that can help you become unstoppable. Again, unstoppable doesn't mean that you won't go through those things. Unstoppable means that they just will not stop you on the way through them. That's a big difference. I didn't want to do a rant and rave. I didn't want to do all that other stuff. I see a bunch of bullshit videos out there, and people claiming this and people claiming that, and they're going to help you do all these different things. But I'll be honest with you, most of those people haven't championed shit. You figure, in the end, what really matters is if you know how to overcome fear and doubt and hesitation and use them yourself to gain forward motion. If you can't do that, it doesn't matter where you take it, you won't make the money that you want to make. You'll continue to fail in your family, your relationship with other people, your connection with your kids, your body, the way that you need to utilize it, whether that body be your body is your business because you're an athlete, or your body is supposed to sustain you on your financial endeavors up the pipe. If you're a 7-figure earner, 8-figure earner, whatever it is that you're going to do, mentally when you crumble, you crumble. Unstoppable Champion Training Camp is a mental toughness and personal development camp specifically for high achievers. It's not for somebody who needs to be coddled. I did that because I know the prisons that you guys are in. I know the challenges that you have on a daily basis. I know what it feels like to keep your mouth shut even though you want to be able to just fucking lash out at people and let them know who you are, how you are, and what you stand for. Not all the time you can do that when you're in the public eye because people are waiting for you to crack. That's why actors and all these different people, they slap a camera out of somebody's hand because they just can't take it anymore. They're looked upon as being bad. Or you got an athlete that goes, fuck you, and he dunks and he runs off because he's had some personal shit going on, the crowd boozing and stuff like that. But it's the same people who applauded for him earlier, and he has to go back and prove not to them, but to himself, yo, I'm definitely the man that I was before. So again, like when I talk about Unstoppable Champion Training Camp, this camp is a strengthening. It's an awakening of who you really are. It's almost a reminder of what you have been taught to not be over time. Even though you're on the path of being what you want to be, you're constantly bombarded with who you shouldn't be because they don't want you to overstep the boundaries. So a lot of time people spend more time being liked than being likable and moving forward. So public eye shit, I mean, it always has been that way. Very different video because I didn't want to do the hype thing. Like I said before, I think I'm gonna probably tone some things down because I feel I can help some people better just by being real. When people come to my office to talk, they sit on the couch in my office and I sit at my desk, and all I can really say to them is what's up. They don't talk to me about how to be a better athlete all the time, how to run faster, how to jump this, how to slam that, how to rep. They don't talk about those things. What they talk about is the personal things that go on that affect that game. The business people I connect with, they don't talk about their business shit. They're already 7-figure earners, 6-figure earners. They don't talk about how to make more money. They've already beasted that situation for them. What it is for them is they don't get the opportunity at some point to just be themselves, which is why I created Unstoppable, because in Unstoppable, you have to be yourself to get through it. And then when you can remind yourself who you really are at the core, you can't be stopped by anybody or anything or any darkness you encounter, any loneliness that you encounter, any disconnect that you feel from other people, serving the people that you serve, not serving the people that you serve, the people that you serve turning on you. All that stuff has nothing to do with nothing. You got to get it to grips with yourself. So if that's the prison that you're in, hit me up, look me up. You can go to championdevelopmentacademy.com. That's www.championdevelopmentacademy.com. This ain't no fucking sale. If this is you and you go through all this stuff on a consistent basis, reach out to me. I can help you. And I can tell you up front, if you want that killer instinct, if you want to continue to be able to play that top game at the top level and know for a fact that you can handle it unequivocally without anybody putting a damper on what you do, without being crushed publicly by you just eventually lashing out and being who you really are at the core, then reach out to me. I can help you with that. And I can promise you, as an athlete, as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, you will not make it through the fire without some coach, without a trainer, without a mentor, without somebody willing to go the gambit and be there with you. Because I guarantee you can't just pick up the phone and call one of your homeboys or anybody like that, or your friends, or your stablemates, or your assistant, or the other CEO in the other office and expect them to understand what you go to, because they have their own problems if they're champions, because champions don't associate with people less than that. It's lonely in that. It's lonely in the position of being a public figure or a high-profile person or a champion or any top performer at any level. So again, this is Victor Bell from Warhorse Strength Camp's Champion Development Academy with a very different message today. I'm reaching out to some of the top people. I'm reaching out to the people, to the guy that's 20, to 50 years old, the 6 to 7 to 8-figure earner, the athlete that's at the top of his game that has no place, nowhere, nothing to turn to, and they're starting to crumble inside and they know it, and they have to dig deep and get in touch again with that dark side, become an unstoppable champion, and they know for a fact that this cannot be left to chance anymore. This has become a must, and I see it more and more on a daily basis. That's why I'm doing what I do. That's the only reason why I do what I do. So reach out to me. Let's get this done now. Or you can hit me up on the phone. It doesn't even matter. Google me, Victor Bell, Warrior Strength Camp. Again, go to championdevelopmentacademy.com. Fill out the strategy session survey. I'll give you a call. I'll find out what's up, what challenges you're having. If I can help you, I'll do it. If I can coach you, if I can mentor you, I'll do it. If you want to come to our 3-day training, let's do that too. Whatever it is, don't just flap in the wind and lose your position, lose your profile, lose your 7-figure mindset that you need to continue to accomplish what you got to get done. Victor Bell, Warrior Strength Camps, Champion Development Academy, creator of Unstoppable Champion Training, where I actually help athletes, executives, entrepreneurs maximize who they really are so they can get done doing what they really need to do. Peace.